Today, as we start the show, this one mic. We hail throughout the stadium. There is a pause throughout the stadium as this man sounds like he just coughs up a lung. They're looking around. The Jumbotron shows and pans the cheerleaders, and as it goes down each cheerleader's face, each one breaks up into laughter, which at this particular time destroys half the stadium. The other half is still trying to figure out what the hell just happened. Does this guy need CPR or something? And then at that particular time, I lost it. Devon Druck. Yes, today.
Blog Talk Radio.
Start the show, this one mic.
Phoenix is another place. They got a great training staff. They were able to breathe life back into Shaq. And you can do that. People talk a lot about their training staff.
Blog.
Yes, today, as we start this show, this one mic.
Yes, today as we start this show, this one mic, it feels good to be in here. Before I get started here, I want to make sure that I give out some special thanks to, again, our sponsors who were with us last week in Maui, Aston Mahana at Kahanapali, and Bowman Medical Group for sponsors again in Maui Invitational. It was a great week of basketball. Really enjoyed it. They've been with us from day one. We got some interviews with both Dr. Bowman, hitting out where he talks a little bit about ways in which athletic departments can start thinking about providing greater support, health, and wellness. It was a great interview, so make sure you check that out. Go to realsportsguys.com. We'll be pushing it out on our social media platform. We also interviewed GM Brian Cox for at Aston Mahana. So, if you're looking for a place to stay, go check them out. There's a great place to stay, and we're just good to have them with us on this, and we look forward to getting back at it next year. Then we got Kansas coming into the building next year. UCLA is going to be in the building next year. It's going to be star-studded in the building next year. So we're looking forward to getting back and doing it again, and we'll keep you updated as we get closer to it again. But I gotta bring my guys in who are here. Let's start out with my man C Hamp. How you doing?
Man, blessed and highly favored, man. At the Kohl Center last night, thought it was gonna be like an active shooter, but it was a false alarm.
Yeah, I saw that you put that message out. I was like, wow, I could have been over there to Kohl Center. I'm glad I decided to make my way.
It's a false alarm, bro. It's a false alarm. But I'm doing well, man. Doing great in my baby's place right now. So that's what's up. So her office. So doing my thing. But very excited about what happened on Sunday in Madison, Wisconsin. We're taking the next step. As we say, we went from A to B. Now we're going to B to C championship. So that's what's up.
All right, we're definitely going to talk about those changes as well as other changes in that Big Ten West. It's going to be great. And then we have my man Darnell Kirkland Jr., who's just been monitoring all this stuff. I think he's been monitoring the transfer portal. He's our cat who keeps us informed. This is the young cat who keeps us on our toes, who's dotting the I's and crossing the T's. How you doing, young man?
I'm doing all right. I'm finally getting over this cold. Like I was looking back, I was like, how long does a cold last? Like yesterday was crazy. I went to class. I was in class like I can't even concentrate. I'm so tired right now. So I was like, man, I went home and slept for like 11 hours. But yeah, I feel good. I feel good now. So
I know I got you on. We tried to get on before the Michigan game, man. I could hear it in your voice. You mustered it up like a champ, so we could get something out there.
I left that game and slept, and then woke up again for at like 7:30, 7:38.
Well, we gonna open it up. We're gonna open it up with the big game. We call it the game on the rundown. Michigan, Ohio State. My goodness, I think everybody in up country in Maui would probably hear me yelling, including the Roosters. when Michigan started breaking out in the second half. We had a test going back and forth. Hammer was over calling them paper champions. Darnell and I were making the case like no one's really broken away. Obviously, Georgia, I think, is at the top of the heap, but I think everyone has flaws. And then the game happened. Let's start with Darnell. I'll go back to you since what happened, and then Hammer, I'm gonna come to you.
What happened is, I know a lot of people gonna say, "Oh, Ohio State is just soft," and like they just got ran over for a second year in a row. But from when I watched the game, I just saw a lack of execution. Like I saw guys not, guys not filling gaps, guys not making tackles. Like, yeah, you could say, oh, it's the wrong play call, it's the bad coaching, bad play calling. But hey, at the end of the day, the game is still about blocking and tackling, right? A 10-yard curl should never turn into a 70-yard touchdown. I mean, that's just the way it is, and I think that was a big issue in the game.
Hammer, just your overall thoughts? I mean, you watched it. We're going back and forth. Like, what were your thoughts in terms of what you thought happened there?
Ohio State has a serious culture problem at the top, and they need to clean house right now. They need to bring in Mike Vrabel. They need to bring Mike Vrabel out of Nashville and have him come home to Columbus and bring some toughness. Darnell's right. They look soft as Charmin. They embarrassed the Buckeye alums. They embarrassed the state of Ohio. And Ryan Day up there shucking and jiving. He needs to go. He's an OC. He's not a leader. He's an OC.
And the guy is only lost to Michigan twice in the Big Ten, and we calling him soft.
In the crib, he got crushed.
Who else has he lost to?
He got crushed.
Come on, man.
Cats are running on the track. The cats are wide open. No, it's a culture problem. It's Ohio State. Darnell broke it down, and
no, I didn't. I said people
he didn't say a culture problem.
I didn't say
it. He said it was a
they're not making tackles. You got some of the best talent out there. They're not making tackles. They're not getting yak. They're not getting yards after catch.
But they were down to their fourth running back.
You asked me a question. You got me on the show for a reason, right?
Go ahead.
Because I'm provocative. Okay. So bottom line is this: is that you laughing now. This is why you got me on the show. People let you show. They love to see the Hammer knock away.
Put the hammer on them, Hammer.
Yeah, I'm gonna put hammer on them because again, I'm not gonna hear no excuses for Brian Day, man. They were outclassed, outcoached, and outmaneuvered. And again, he's arrogant and he has a culture problem there, man. I mean, the only person who balled out was Harrison Jr., sophomore. These cats are not. I mean, there's a culture problem in Ohio State, man, and I'm not talking about the crazy fans. Mike Vrabel needs to come home. Forget that. He ain't winning no chip with Tennessee. Forget that. The only thing he gonna win is the AFC South every year. So what?
So you okay? So you make a point. There's probably a lot of people in your camp, Hammer. But one of the things I noticed as Darnell was wearing his Ohio State shirt, which I didn't call out on the pre-show before.
Well, I put that on because I knew I was going to have to switch my pick to Ohio State. So I was like,
I thought that was why you put it on. But you said something very interesting that I've always felt, and it works when it works when it does. It doesn't. It looks bad when it doesn't. And one of the things you said, I said there was something I framed the question, and you said the one thing you worried about with Ohio State with both Knowles and Day was ego. And what was interesting about it, at halftime, Urban Meyer said he said it at the halftime show. He said, I would walk in and tell my defensive coordinator, keep everything in front of you. We're going to keep everything in front of us. They did everything but that in the second half. He stuck with that, man, like where they got killed on all those plays or where they basically were running like a zero coverage, right? And so they weren't keeping everything in front of them. But that was ego. And the irony of that is what was killing Michigan for the past 3 or 4 years with a defensive coordinator who just his system was the system. He wasn't going to adjust it. And Michigan has gotten got people in there who are who designing things to what their players can do. But the one thing that Darnold did raise was he was worried about was the ego piece. Would they make the adjustments? And it just felt like defensively they were determined to play their way.
Yeah, and going back to what you said, this is a team in Ohio State that if you watch them all year, they're a zone team. They switch between Tampa 2, cover 3, you know, a little bit of quarters, you know what I'm saying? They're not a press man.
No.
That's not they're not the same. No, that's not the way Ohio State plays football. But then they changed it for this game. Like I said earlier, it's just Jim Knowles, the Ivy League dude. Like he's trying to outthink the room. And it's funny because Urban Meyer said it before the game. Like before the game, Urban Meyer said he was like, "Oh yeah, Michigan's gonna have to prove they can beat press coverage, and if they can get open against press coverage." I was like, "Is this Ohio State?" I watched them against Maryland play like 7 yards off the entire game. Like, what are you talking? Like, this that Ohio State don't play like that. But like you said, yeah, it's that. And then on the other end, on the offensive end, like I don't know why they stopped running the ball. And I'll never understand why they stopped running the ball. Yeah, we could talk about they was down to their fourth string running back. Which way?
You balled out last week though.
Yeah,
What was the brother's name?
No, he didn't play last week.
No.
The
Dalton, the brother that played. You know what I'm talking about? Was Dalton?
Dallin Hayden. That's what I'm saying. Dallin Hayden did not play in the Michigan game. They didn't give him the ball.
That's why they needs to go. They need to.
I'm saying
the charge should not be working in Columbus.
You
need to go.
Let him finish.
I'm saying I don't know why they stopped running the ball, because you can say they're down to the fourth string running back, which they were, but even with that fourth string running back, he had a good game. He ran for 5 yards a carry. He was giving you 5 yards a carry. He got 83 yards. I'm like,
Ryan Day
thinks give him the ball.
Ryan Day thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, and that's why he's gonna be out of a job very soon.
So my question said, is Ryan Day in the hot seat? Now, when I talked to Darnell, I said
Ryan Day's seat is smoking. It's on fire.
I said
like the nitty gritty in Madison. That's his seat right now. It's on fire.
His seat is hot, but he's not going to get fired right now.
No. You don't know that, dude. I know along.
How many games? Let me ask you this question: how many games has Ryan Day lost in the Big Ten since he's been head coach?
The only game that matters is
2. So hold it. Let's put this in perspective. This tells you how much we are out of. And I'm not a big Ryan Day fan because more of his ego. When he talk about I'm gonna run 100 up on you, I'm like, come on, man. You go and all season talk about you running 100 up on people. Like, your ego is in this whole other place. I said I want to see him lose, not because I'm a Michigan fan, but I want to see how he was going to deal with that. I love watching that press conference because he was squirming because his ego. He's got to do some reflection. So, but after all of that, he only lost 2 games in the Big Ten since he's been a coach. Like,
and he went to a national championship 2 years ago.
And he went to a national championship 2 years ago. So that's not a coach that's failing.
He went to a national championship. How many national championships has Wisconsin been to in your lifetime?
That's what I'm
saying. That's going to change with the new hire, bro. That's going to change. That's why we went outside the family tree. We got a champion, Ohio State guy, a champion, and not a chump like Jim Leonard. That's
how many goodness! I ain't gonna let you. I'm not gonna let you. Hold it. I'm not gonna let you do that to a guy that has given a lot to the program and been great.
We ain't gonna do that. Program. He can't coach. But you got 4.
You said Jim Leonard can't coach.
He was 4-3 out of a disastrous situation.
Man, I was in Atlanta.
Okay. All right. Hold up. Let's transition. Let's take the people. We're done with the game. We're done with the game right now.
You can DC all day.
Hold it. We're done with the game. We're going to transition to we had some higher changes. So let's deal with the Wisconsin one up front. I do want to, as we start to get into the landscape question about the Big Ten, I do want to bring in the rule hire as part of that question. But Wisconsin hired Luke Fickell.
You heard about Mickey Joseph, didn't you? He got arrested today. So
I haven't been paying attention. But let's talk about
domestic violence, man. It's bad.
Let's talk about Luke Fickell. To me, all the signs being close to program, people going Jim Leonard. I think Jim Leonard did a great job. I think he'd be great. I think there's a couple things happening. I think this is the AD McIntosh putting a stamp on the program in the way he wants to do it. I think the other thing is with the hiring of Matt Rule in Nebraska. You saw what happened with PJ Fleck 2 years in a row. You got USC coming in, which brings in a whole nother level. The game's gonna change, and I felt like he looked at it like we need somebody who's established. Now, Luke Fickell is getting like little over $7 million a year. That's not typical Wisconsin. Wisconsin typically not gonna pay that kind of money. So somebody they signed off on this. They signed off on this. Right?
Manukin signed off on it. Manukin signed off on it.
I'm understanding, but that's normally not what. That's not something
we can't
that
do normal anymore. Normal ain't working. We need chips.
But I'm making my point. I'm making my point. That's not something that normally would happen in a place like Wisconsin.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
So Luke Fickell is coming in. It sounds like he's bringing in his staff. So basically, in a year, you've really basically just pushed out a lot of what has been kind of a Wisconsin kind of lineage in some way. That model is thrown out the window, which I'm fine with. So, what does that mean? That means the game go up. That means expectations go up. That means today's price ain't yesterday's price. That means 9-3 don't work when you get paid $7 million.
No.
See, that means get to the Big Ten championship don't necessarily work. That used to be the standard. And then if you win it, going on to the next game, that used to be the standard. That don't seem to be the standard anymore. And I always try to warn people, when you start to get into these spaces, that's a different game.
Yeah.
That's a different game. Now, and so what does this mean for Wisconsin? How much does it push it up?
Right? Pushes up majorly because
in what way?
One of my major sources told me, and I believe it, Fickell got a 3-year plan. He trying to go to SEC, bro. This is a stepping stone job for him. This is a don't. What does
that do for Wisconsin? What does that do for Wisconsin?
Dude, that means he got. We're talking about Fickell, bro. Listen. That means if he wants an SEC job, he has to win big in Wisconsin. And he believes he can win big in Wisconsin because of the fact that
in 3 years?
Yeah, in 3 years.
Two other teams on the other side.
USC winning in 1 year. USC winning in 1 year. USC got the Heisman in 1 year.
But that's USC. That's the Pac-12. That's the WAC-12.
We could bring in a bunch
of you talk about Ohio Michigan cats, and Ohio State cats, on the other side.
Pennsylvania cats get a spattering of the Florida cats he gets. Fickell can coach cats. Recruit. He can talent development, man. You don't know what he can do. I mean, they say he can do that.
All right. I'm not raising anything bad, but I'm saying in 3 years
he has to win big. He has to win big. He's gonna get fired. No question.
You said he's 3 and out.
How you saying that?
That's not a good thing.
That's not a good thing.
That's a good thing because he's gonna.
How's that good for him? You talk about him. That's not good for Wisconsin.
And then we can have Tressel, or we can have the OC of take over for him, and then he can go on to where he wants to go to, I don't know, what, Florida or something like that.
Why would you want to go to Florida? Like, if you're going to be that good at Wisconsin, you want to go to Wisconsin. Like, what makes Florida a better job than Wisconsin?
That's the mother load college football, SEC. Big Ten, the mother load.
It's not the mother load. Right now, you might have two Big Ten. You're gonna have you might have two Big Ten teams sitting in there.
Two Big Ten
not
teams,
that far away. Plus, you got USC.
You have a Big 12 team, a Pac-12 team. You have a SEC team.
All right, Hammer. You out here. I'm gonna go over here to Darnell. Darnell, let me get Darnell in. Darnell, what does this mean in your mind?
Well, I'll give you a positive. I think the positive is that, well, if it brings change. Like I'm going to say a little of what Carl said, right? Wisconsin, since I've been alive, has been the same. I'm not going to say the same program, but they've been pretty much the same program, right? They run the same stuff on offense. They run the same stuff on defense. He's going to bring. I think he'll bring some exciting to recruitment to say, hey, we might. I'm not going to. They're still going to run the ball and stop the run. There's always going to be the identity of Wisconsin football. But I think he'll add a little spin to that. And I think he'll do that in an exciting way where they can bring in some more talent. I think he recruits a lot better than Wisconsin's been doing. So I think they're going to bring in more talent, and that'll be good for Wisconsin. But if this is true that this is just a 3-year deal, I don't think he's just going to turn. I don't think long.
He signed a 7-year contract.
That means nothing. You know that. That means nothing.
I understand it. I don't think
Brian Harsin signed a 8-year contract.
I don't think he's here on a 3-year deal. Whoever's saying that, I don't think that's true.
Dude, again, if he wins out, if he's got the major company, if he does what I think he can do in Wisconsin.
So what do you think?
Let me be throwing $10 million at him.
Wait, what do you think? What do you think is the ceiling for him at Wisconsin in 3 years?
I think if he doesn't win a championship next year, it's a failure.
A national championship?
No, a Big Ten championship. A Big Ten championship.
I think that's
huge.
That's
a failure. It's a failure.
That's big, given the fact.
I think Big Ten championship first year, CFP next year, and then chip.
I'll make you a bet.
He had to do that in 3 years.
Any amount of money that you want, I'll bet you Michigan will beat Wisconsin next year. If they're on the schedule, Michigan will beat Wisconsin next year.
Well, again, I agree, but that doesn't preclude them from getting.
How they gonna win the Big Ten championship if they can't beat Michigan?
Again,
you think they're gonna beat Ohio State next year?
It's gonna be a rematch. That's what I think.
You think they'll beat them the second
rematch in the Big 12 championship game? Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about this guy.
Let me finish. Phil's the type of guy that I think that he'll be able to play them once, get the program together, get the culture together, and then when they come to that championship game from the West, I think that he can take him out, man. This guy went to the CFP in Cincinnati, and you talk about again the recruiting class, not 9 players drafted. Okay. Sauce Carter coming to
Madison. Wisconsin was getting players. If it's about getting drafted, they would get guys drafted.
Sauce Gardner's coming to Madison like in a couple weeks, bruh. Real talk.
It's okay. It's not like Wisconsin would put people in the league. That we ain't talking about that. They would put people in the league.
Not 9 cats.
Yes, they were.
With
you know what JJ Watt is? You know what TJ Watt is?
Yes.
Yeah, dude. I'm talking about top flight talent like Sauce Gardner.
What are you talking about? Jonathan Taylor? What are we talking about?
Coming out of high school.
And that's the thing that makes me more excited about. Not only does he get not only his talent, he develops it.
What does Wisconsin do?
Dude, is Wisconsin gonna be
JJ Watt? Wait.
Dude, JJ Watt.
This is the lawyer stuff I'll be talking about in the
JJ Watt, man. I want
that. Darnell, let me hear Darnell's point.
We need some wide receivers coming out here.
Carl, let me hear Darnell's point. You put something out there. Let me hear Darnell's point.
Actual talent, right?
Yeah.
You said no. Sauce is different than JJ and TJ Watt because he has more talent and they brought him in, right? And you said, then I brought like, what was Sauce Gardner coming out of high school, right? Was he the 5-star guy that they beat up from Alabama and Georgia? No, they developed him.
Yeah,
just like Wisconsin's been doing with T.J. Watt, J.J. Watt, and all the guys.
But the point is, Darnell, is that they've had top recruiting class and they developed talent, both. Okay, now, so if he comes to Wisconsin, it's going to be off the chain because he's going to be able to get the top talent.
So Cincinnati had top 5 recruiting classes? I don't know.
They were 29.
29 not busting things down.
29?
Yeah, they were 29 last year.
29.
Yes.
They're 48 this year. I just pulled it up. They're 48.
Okay, they were 29
this year. What are we talking about, man?
The year before that, they were 50.
Okay, well.
The year before that,
I saw 29 or something, but the bottom line is that the bottom line is that he's a talent developer. He's a talent developer, and he brings in top talent.
I'm just telling you. I mean, I think we're projecting. I think he's a great hire. I'm not saying that.
I think he's a great hire too, but
I think we're acting as if he's pulling something out, like he's going to Northwestern. He's at like most since they had the Big Ten West. It's been either Wisconsin winning it, or it's like Northwestern winning it.
Good enough. We need to win. We need the Big Ten chair.
And they won a Big Ten. I'm just trying to tell you that there's a lot. That's a lot to try to do in 3 years, especially when the guy down in Illinois is putting it together.
Man, he can beat Bielema. Bielema can't
Alright,
coach him.
And Sauce Gardner, just for reference, Sauce Gardner was a 3-star, right?
A
He was
3-star.
the 163rd cornerback in the country.
Dude, again, and developed him into the top cornerback pick to the.
But you're talking about they brought him in
quarterback
like
in
he
the
was,
draft behind Stingley, who is what a 6-star.
We
That
coached
brother was
against-
so bad.
Lincoln. We played Detroit Martin Luther King when Sauce was there. Sauce was a wide receiver.
Yeah, well,
That's
dude. Again, that's my point. You're saying my points.
No,
Just
but
go
but
on now.
but
You
but
can
God,
tell
the
he's
country.
talking about different.
And you bring him to Madison from Cincinnati.
all
We
right,
gonna
all right.
play
I'm gonna wish you know I'm gonna wish you well,
We
but
gonna
I'm
be
like
playing. We gonna
I
play.
like I'm like we putting a
Bro, we
splash
gonna
on
play
this
jump
that I'm
around.
not quite
We
seeing.
gonna play jump around before the game, after the first quarter, after the second quarter, after the third quarter. We gonna play jump around all get fifth quarter. We gonna be jumping around. We gonna be crushing cats.
All right. So let me get to this question. We think about we got Luke Fickle, we got Matt Roll,
Yeah, Matt
Rule. So I mean at Nebraska, like what do these things mean for the landscape of the Big Ten? What does it mean for the landscape of college football? Because now you got two top coaches over in that Big Ten West with USC coming and UCLA coming. What does that mean for the landscape of college football?
That means that Jeff Brahms of the world, he better get to Louisville as soon as he can because he gonna have trouble. The Bill Lynch's of the world, all these cats in the middle, they're gonna get crushed. They're gonna be out of a job because Matt Rule don't play. I mean, Matt Rule is not a head coach in pro football, but he can coach the hell out of some college. I mean, you went at Temple. And you went after Baylor had scandal, and you win big, and also you incrementally win. You start off not doing well, and you get better every year. That's coaching, bro.
So it's gonna make a big change. Darnell, what do you think? What it do for landscape?
I think it will. I think he's good for Nebraska. I think he's a culture fit. Culture fit with the surroundings, like the city, but he's gonna go in there and completely rebuild the culture. I think, like Carl said, he's proven he can do that at Temple and at Baylor. So I think that's good for the Big Ten West and good for college football.
Nebraska needs to be relevant again. It's embarrassing how Nebraska is now. Nebraska needs to be relevant again.
Yeah, I mean, Nebraska is one of those programs that you want to see back on.
Yeah, it's like Oklahoma.
College football is better when they're good. You know, the fan base.
Yeah, we need Oklahoma better. Oklahoma State shouldn't be headed.
Oklahoma has only been down for 1 year.
Man, 1 year too long. this clown.
So with your Jim Leonard, what do you do?
Jim Leonard's going to USC. That's what he's doing.
Yeah, that's what I
fired Grinch, and he's going to USC. That's where he's going because he's not going to wait for the Packers and Lincoln Riley going to come get him right now. Lincoln Riley is the most aggressive guy. Lincoln Riley got what 40 transfers on that team.
Oh yeah, Lincoln Riley not.
I mean, dude, Caleb Williams, he's going to go get Jim Leonard if he hadn't already gotten Jim Leonard as we speaking right now because Grinch got to go.
Jim Leonard's going to Alabama after they let Pete Golding go. But
that could happen too. I ain't going. That could happen too. But I think
Lincoln Riley's not
a great fit for him. I think because the USC wants somebody with that Big Ten lineage that they're coming into.
Lincoln Riley is not getting rid of Alex Grinch. That's his guy. They've been together.
He'll find Alex a job. He'll find Alex a job, a lateral move.
He turned Oklahoma from being the 100 and something total defense to 8 in like 2 years.
And then what happened in the bowl game? They got their ass whooped. I was there.
So
they got
against the best college offense.
The bowl game. I was there. Justin Jefferson had 4 touchdowns in the half.
I was saying against the best college offense in history.
Again, that's when you get paid, bro. You're getting paid.
Wait a minute. What did they do against Alabama?
Dude,
what did LSU do against Alabama that year? What did LSU do against every team they played that year? What did LSU do against Clemson that year?
But it shouldn't have been that bad, bro. You had talent on it.
You can say that, but you always say,
bro, that scoreboard. No, never mind. The score. I was at the scoreboard was lighting up like a Christmas tree, bruh. You been to Mercedes Dome? We need to do a road trip to Mercedes Dome and see a college game. It's the most exciting thing you ever see. Family, RSG family out there, man. The scoreboard just lights up. Then you see the stars out there. Again, you see big man, Marcus Spears, man, come out for the coin flip, man. It's like I said, ATL, man, is like I said, just classic, man.
All right, so Leonard's gonna land somewhere. He's gonna land on his feet.
USC, you heard it here first. USC.
He might. You never know. He might end up at Baylor. You never know. Hang out.
But I think USC is a favorite right now. But go ahead.
He might end up with a head coach job. You just never know. So I got
the rumor they talk about Cincinnati might take him. I don't believe that, but
that might. So let's talk about the Cincinnati job. It's been a place where, it's becoming that coaching cradle. Over there, you think Tom Herman? We got down here Brian Hartline.
Hartline's interviewing right now. He got the job, man. He gonna get the job. He's interviewing right now for the job.
I think Hartline might be a good.
Is that going to be a blow to Ohio State cat who can recruit like life?
Not really. I don't think it's a big blow because with Ryan Day and the way they throw the ball, they're always going to be able to recruit wide receivers. They might not have the same kind of hype that they had with Hartline. This year they had number 1, 2, and 3. Noah Rogers, Carnell Tate, and Brandon Ennis. So you might not get that, but you're going to get talent there.
Yeah, you get talent there, man. And Hartline, the fact they're interviewing him right now, he's going to get the job. I think he's going to get the job. I mean, you're talking about Jim Leonard. That's a joke. They don't want Wisconsin to reject. Come on.
I don't know why you hate Jim Leonard over.
I don't hate Jim Leonard. I'm just saying it. I was in Atlanta in my rental car driving, and I had to hear 4 straight false starts. I'm like, is this Pee Wee Football League or this is the Big Ten? Because in Pee Wee football, I've never heard of 4 false starts in a row with college men. 4 false starts in a row.
He's clean it. You can't. He was able to pull that thing together when it was going sideways. But hold it. He went 4-3 pulling together when it was going sideways. So you would have to judge him on an off season, allow him to do that stuff. So I'm not gonna let you sit here and disrespect my man Jim Leonard.
I'm not disrespecting.
We go. He didn't get the job. They decided to go another way. Same thing happened to Fickle at Ohio State.
Coach, man.
Hey. Same thing happened to Fickle at Ohio State. Same thing happened to Fickle at Ohio State. What did he end up doing?
Yeah, right? He went to a smaller school.
He ended up being one of the top coaches in the country. Right? Yeah, so hey.
I don't see that in Leonard, man. I don't see that in Leonard.
I told you he was going to get the job. And I just told you again, he's going to be a great coach. You're going to be like D. Wills, man. At some point, you're going to learn. Oh, you're going to learn. You're going to learn, Carl. At some point, you're going to learn.
I learned his own alma mater. I learned his own alma mater. Passed over him. That's what I learned.
Every time you come on the show, I'm going to start playing Anita Baker. Because you got to apologize to me all the time because you keep going left.
Give the best that I got. He ain't giving the best that he got. I'm about to hit you with another.
I'm about to hit you with another Mia Baker because
you got love for Jim. I got love.
You be like D. You're right.
As a DC, but not as head coach, man. He ain't ready, bro.
How old is he's young? What are you talking about? He's not gonna be a head coach. He already demonstrated. He took over that. You and I know. For Wisconsin to fire the coach at middle of the season and how much that shook the ground for him to hold it together and finish the way he did, that's a good coaching job. That thing was at its seams.
Not good enough, dude.
Come on, man. Not good enough. You always say it's not good enough.
He should have been 6-1.
Like anybody else was going to be better than that.
He should have been 6-1.
He should have been 6-1. Crazy.
I ain't crazy.
When a quarterback, he didn't recruit who you and I knew wasn't going to be able to play. Come on, man.
Man. Dude, he should have been 6-1.
Okay. Hey, Darnell, we're gonna mark it.
Yeah, we gonna mark it.
Mark it.
Just like,
you know y'all was Darnell. We're gonna mark it. And then you're gonna come back like D. Will in the text message.
We're gonna mark it.
Andy Thomas is a top 5 offensive tackle in the NFL.
Yeah, worse is hurt right now. But who got the ring? Who got the ring? Who got the ring right now? Who got the ring? Who's healthy? Who's better? I guarantee you to take Tristan Wirfs.
I'm gonna say this. The college football rankings is just what I told y'all in the text was going to be when I texted you over the weekend. It's exactly what I said it was going to be. Darnell, I don't know who did Hammer. You put yours up. It wasn't what you put.
Yeah, USC's third or
I had I don't know who you had, but
I had TCU's third and with USC fourth. That's what it was, right?
yeah. But then
Yeah.
it went Ohio State out to you had Alabama, didn't you?
No, I had Ohio State because Alabama got 2 losses. I can't.
No, maybe go look at these text
I think
messages.
I think they're a better team, but I
Darnell,
can't.
pull up that text messages, man. You know because we both posted ours.
Yeah, I didn't say anything.
I put mine
You
on
didn't
Twitter.
say anything.
Dog. I put mine on
We
Twitter.
go-
Mine's on
let's
Twitter
look
right
at
now.
it. Let's make sure we.
Mine's on Twitter. Mine's on Twitter, man.
It was on Twitter. I know I put mine out on Twitter.
I put mine on
I
Twitter.
made it public.
I made it public too.
We was arguing.
What's his name? Tyron.
I had USC at 4th.
Yeah, he retweeted my thing, man. He retweeted my. I put in here right now.
I'm just trying to make sure we all on the same page.
I put in Hammer. I put in Georgia, Michigan, TCU, USC, Ohio State, Alabama. It's right.
Yeah,
right
Devon had it wrong. Devon had it
I
wrong.
had it wrong.
Yeah, USC third. That's at the bottom.
Oh, I put USC third. Didn't I put that?
I knew both of y'all didn't have it the same.
He get broke clock right twice a day.
Man, you always say that, bro. Give me some shoe, man, please.
So if we see what that. So if TCU or USC loses, who do you got? You got Ohio State coming in, or you got
Ohio State comes in? Yeah, they come in.
The thing is, do they deserve it?
Yeah,
it's not about what you deserve. Life's not fair. You say Jim Leonard deserved the Wisconsin job because you're right. He came in turmoil.
I'm not saying he deserved it or not. I just said he did a good job. They have the right to go wherever they want to go. Get me off the Leonard thing.
I ran to Derek Smith last night, my homie Derek Smith, and he was like, he's angry. People are upset in Wisconsin right now. People are upset at Madison, bro.
But we off that one. I'm talking about Ohio State. So we all say
Ohio State will be in there if both USC and TCU.
Even though Stephen A. said you got to take
Bama and I hope that happens actually because I want to see that would be tremendous to see. Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, Alabama. Oh my goodness!
The thing is, when I came to this question, I expected you to say Ohio State didn't deserve to be in because they got blown up. I expected you to say that, and I was so ready. I was so ready to bring up Georgia last year. I was like, "Hey, Georgia lost by 3 scores last
year." Yeah. No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again,
and people use a different lens all the time. Although Stephen A. said,
I told you,
Stephen A. said, you listen to me. Hold on, Hammer. Let me make a point. Stephen A. said you need to take the off of the Ohio State after the whooping they took at home. I'm like, that's a little too much.
True. That D got whooped off. That's
a little bit. So Hammer, what were you gonna say?
No, I was gonna say, man, is that again, Darnell, I blame Ryan Day for the loss. The Ohio State Buckeyes, I think, is a top 14, no question, with the talent and stuff. But you're right. He didn't run the ball. He got arrogant, and he thought he could do some run and shoot, throw the ball to all these great receivers he got, and play man-on-man coverage, Jim Knowles' dumb butt. And they got smoked because you're right. You broke it down, the egos. You broke it down, man. Like I said, you dropped knowledge at 25, 26 years old, bro. When you were my age, man, you're going to be really dropping some knowledge, bro. So the bottom line is that you broke it down. The Knowles and Day, you broke it down, man. I give you props. Because, I saw the Fool's goal. I thought they were going to whoop on Michigan like they stole something. And Michigan beat them.
I love the way.
I was looking at the TV. I was in shock.
I love the way Urban Meyer put it.
I was in shock, man.
I love the way Urban Meyer put it at the end of the telecast. Because they asked Urban Meyer what he would do at this point. He said he'd look at all of every assistant coaches, including Ryan Day, and say they gotta earn their stripes. We all gotta earn our stripes. Urban started talking about earning their stripes. They gotta earn their stripes. But it feels good to have the Buckeye fans calling in on these shows just complaining. Because I haven't heard in a long time. I just want to understand what they all about. But yeah, they own Ryan Day. I would say this. If they do in the playoffs, he's going to be highly motivated because he knows this is one way they can change the narrative. And so it'd be interesting. I like USC. I'm telling you right now.
I like USC.
That young man.
Alex Prince, you need to go get Leonard right now and let him put him in there
That's a
right
player
now.
right there. That's a player right there. I love
Oh,
everything
he's a
about it.
player, but the defense is gonna let him down, man. Defense is horrific.
They good enough to make some plays. And all you gotta do is make some stops. If I'm scared of anybody, I'm scared of them.
They can't stop a nosebleed, man.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, USC is the SEC killer when they humming. Them cats, because all they gotta do is look out the window and see talent. And so this is about as bad as it's gonna get for them for a while. So everybody better strap up because it's gonna get interesting over there. But Georgia kind of leaking. Georgia like that big dog leaking over there, just kind of hanging back. And you're gonna forget they the bullies on the block. Everybody talk about everybody, but Georgia, they kind of stumbling in, but they still them bullies on the block, y'all. And it's gonna be interesting. So we're not gonna do any predictions today, but we have a couple weeks. We'll let it warm up, get past these championships, and then we have a chance to kind of figure out who's going to do what and look at some of these other ball games. And there's going to be some great ball game matchups because there's some really good teams out there. But yeah, we got to dig deep when they start to get these matchups because Georgia's nothing nice.
No, Georgia bad, man.
Georgia,
ATL,
everybody,
man.
we talk about a whole bunch of stuff, but I love to see Georgia against USC. Boy, that'd be woo. That'd be a cooker right there. I love to see that.
Game, but
huh?
I rather see Michigan, Georgia, man. I'd be off the
No,
chain.
I'm talking about in that first matchup.
That first
I
game?
love to see Michigan and Georgia.
Yeah,
but Michigan better bring it. They better not come like they did last year.
Yeah,
and let them body slam them. They'll come in there. We don't want this to look like like my boy Adesanya. We don't want that. Coming back, facing the beast again, only get knocked out. We don't want none of that again. You better come ready to like Cormier trying to come back and redeem yourself or something. We need something, but we can't have that knockout blow going. We can't
I
have
want to
that.
see Michigan, USC, and then Georgia, Alabama.
Yeah.
Not Georgia, Alabama. Georgia, Ohio State.
Man, I just hope USC and TCU lose this week because I want to see Bama. I want to see Bama. I want to see that's the fans
you think Bama gets sent over one loss.
Fans want to see Georgia.
Yeah, I think if TCU loses a close one, they're still gonna get in.
No, I disagree.
They got one loss.
Well, it depends on who. It depends on who. Like if they lose,
that's right. They got straight to schedule.
Ohio State is getting over them, but Alabama won't.
The best, but yeah, it's a shame.
Yeah. I mean, I think that still might be debatable. I mean, depending on how that game goes.
I don't think so. Kansas State is not. They losing to Kansas State is not like losing to.
But they still. I think they still giving Kansas. TCU our top strength of schedule. They got the strength of schedule.
Yeah, they give them the top schedule.
Yeah,
they have TCU is the top schedule in college football.
Yeah, so that loss, like it's funny how we play that out with the SEC when it's other conferences. We come up with other.
No,
scenarios.
the reason why it's the top strength of schedule is because they all play each other. Like the SEC, their strength schedule is lower because they play
they play Austin Peay.
Yeah, but we find a way to build a rationale about how strong they are. In that same scenario, we would say the SEC team still would get in, although in this one we won't. And it's like
not this year because they got those 2 L's. Bama hurt themselves those 2 L's, bro.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking. I mean, you're 12-0. If you lose on a last-second kick in the championship, they're gonna still get in.
They lost the team with Unk out for the year.
Yeah.
You know Unk is, don't you? What's his name? Henry Unk's out for the year. 24 years old, Unk, man. You right. You old, man. Broke down.
Oh my goodness.
Broke down,
fellas, we hit on a lot of stuff today. We're gonna call it quits. We're gonna close out this party a little bit and get some final thoughts as we drop off. Whatever you want to share with our listeners before we get out of there. Hammer, we'll start with you. I'll go and then we'll end up with Darnell. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, brother. It was a glorious day on Sunday, not because the day the Lord has made and the Sabbath, but this past Sunday, the Wisconsin Badgers decided to go from good to great. And again, like I said, he ain't the Messiah. The only one Messiah is Jesus Christ, but he damn near football Messiah. Like, I'm so excited for Luke Fickell to come into our house and clean our house up, because our house is dirty right now. Our house is structurally unsound right now. And we need to build a foundation of leadership and of championship football and of, again, execution. 4 false starts in a row is absolutely unacceptable at the Pee-wee level. So you know it's a debacle, an international debacle at the college level for Wisconsin. I'm in Atlanta listening to these young men backing up, and losing. That's a culture problem. That's why Jim Leonard did not get the job. Jim Leonard's a great DC. He's a great Badger. But Jim Leonard, I look at this camera right now, you are not ready to be the head coach of the Badgers now, maybe in the future, but not now. We need Lou Fickell now. He's going to bring in Mike Tressel, one of the best assistants in the business. His OC, one of the best in the business. Strength coach is one of the best in the business. We got dominated this year, folks, because who was the hell's the strength coach of the Badgers? I want to know. He needs to give back his checks. Because the bottom line is that we were dominated this year on the defensive side of the ball, offensive side of the ball, and we're going to bring in a strength program. And so I'm very excited about Mr. Fickell, and I'm happy he decided to come here to Wisconsin. And all I got to say is on Wisconsin.
All right. I got very patriotic yesterday. World Cup, watching our U.S. team play against Iran, and it was good to see. This is one of the youngest teams in the field. I like watching the youth. Our captain Adams, they had a great story on him growing up. Answering questions about Black Lives Matters. In the press conferences. Being a leader, dealing with stuff on the world stage. But the fact that they got to that stage of 16 teams. They're going to be playing against the Netherlands. But, I'm not a person who watches it all the time trying to understand the game, but I really enjoy watching this team play, being young, watching them do what they need to do. And so, they got my attention. I'll be checking them out against the Netherlands to see what, and we're going to hope that they can get to the round of 8. You got to do it. But I think we got a young team here that, when this World Cup comes back to the States, I think it's in 2026. This will be a group I think will be the cornerstone for the future. I think they got a lot of good pieces here. So it's been good to watch it. And so hopefully you have a chance to enjoy it and check out these young folks make noise on behalf of the United States there in Qatar.
All right, so last week he had a big week of football, and I think last week was a snapshot of why we do not need to expand the college football playoff. Because in Columbus, Michigan and Ohio State played a playoff game, right? It was a playoff atmosphere, playoff intensity, and that's something that we will miss if we expand to 12, we expand to 16 teams in the playoffs, because Michigan Ohio State has always been the unofficial Big Ten championship game, right? The winner of that game, especially with both teams going in undefeated, the winner of that game has a possibility to play for a national championship, right? And this has been the way it has been since I've been alive, pretty much, right? But when I know the game's always going to be important, the rivalry's always going to be there, but you're going to lose a little bit of that intensity. You're going to lose a little bit of what made last Saturday so great if you go into the game knowing both teams are going to make the playoffs no matter what. And that's what's going to happen when you go to that 12-team, 16-team playoffs. And I think we're good at 4. With this year, I'm not sure if we have 4 teams that are worthy of playing for a national championship. But hey, we're gonna have fun watching it anyhow. I mean, it's going to be some good football coming up, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Sign it off. Thank you, brother. Until next time, y'all, check us out. Please hit up realsportsguys.com, Real Sports Guys on all social media platforms. I thank my co-host, Darnell Kirkland Jr., Carl B. Hampton. This is Devon Wilson. This is another episode of One Mic, and we will see you on the other side.